Hey, I just wanted to, talk for a bit, explain to you some things I've been thinking about. So, I've been, for the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to be patient and just try to take things day by day and just accept the fact that I'm currently just in a depressive state where, like, a lot of things are just hard for me to do right now. I'm experiencing an extreme lack of energy to do a lot of things, and um, I've got all these ideas, but I just can't act upon them because I just get burned out really quickly. And I guess my insecurities and my anxieties are also like a part of that. And but I guess the main difference is that, and I've been talking to a friend about this recently, where I think because of the fact that I'm taking these steps, that I'm taking the time to focus on my mental health, and that I put myself in this trajectory where I'm doing this. I think that a side effect of that is that I am not really able to create, to really do something. And not only about like the piece about, because that's been my situation for a long time, where like high quality content, or at the very least, like that's multidisciplinary, where I focus on the editing and all that, and writing scripts, and like thinking a project all the way through from beginning to the end stages, and like really get into it, which is something that I would really love to do, which is what I've started this like restart basically with, like the video essay format or something like that is really something that I'm still interested in doing. But it's just that my lack of the energy, my um, it's the depression. I noticed, but yeah, I think that hinders me in doing that. But even with that being so, last year when restarted like my YouTube journey and all that, I still had like energy to at least, at the very least, do that pretty regularly, and I just did that. And even when I was like bound, my hands were bound on my back, basically. um, Even if I wasn't very aware of the fact that that was the case, I still did stuff, and I was still doing other projects. I was still just doing stuff, but even that piece of it is now, because I'm focusing on, I guess, taking it slow, and I guess being honest about the fact that my mental health state, current mental health state, is the state it is in. I guess just the acknowledgement of that and the time that I'm focusing on it, are, and like addressing it, kind of sucked out like all of it, actually, where I'm like having to like force myself to do or post or create like anything, and like that force also takes energy, and I just currently don't have that. So which is why in like 2021, I've been updating and posting videos very irregularly, and randomly, and not in like similar intervals. It's just randomly when I felt like it, for example like today. And I don't know, I try to just go with whatever life throws at me in this moment and what my mind throws at me in this moment, how my body feels and all that. Like I've said in previous videos, I've been walking quite a lot, which has been a help in some senses, but other times it's also just felt like I was walking away from all my problems and just the frustrations. And I've been dealing with, like in between, like this video and a video I posted like a month ago. I remember, like, especially like the first 2 weeks after I posted that video, I was borderline suicidal, if I'm honest. Like borderline suicidal, like very dark thoughts. Um, but the difference, as opposed to like the way I felt like in the beginning of the year, where I couldn't even get out of bed, I did manage to get out of bed because I noticed these thoughts popping up while I was walking, while I was just doing, for as far as I could do. And I don't know, it was very, 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 very dark. And I, I don't know, something switched, I guess, where it was like, I don't want to feel like that anymore. I don't want to punish myself anymore. I don't want to give that gift of killing myself to others, where I felt like this is not my fault. This is not my, like I'm not a wrong evil person, or whatever that is, where I'm treated like this by what it feels like is the universe, where everything is like rebelling against me. And um I don't know, I just got tired and got um frustrated actually with like this whole situation. And that frustration morphed and expanded and just growing into like anger, like this potent anger that I really, um I don't know, for the amount of suppression that I have done throughout my life with just everything, like just the abuse and the disregard, the isolation. um I just swallowed it in, just took it in. Another offensive thing, another offensive situation, another damaging situation, another traumatic situation, and just take it in, take it in. And I guess I just somewhere thought that, um, that will just eventually change, where I would, magically, like my Prince Charming would come and take me away from my whole situation. My, fairy godmother would show up and point me to something different, something that I just wanted. And now, I guess, now that I take the time to, like I said, focus on my mental health and accept it for what it is. Like, not accept it as in that I like it, but accepting it as this is just the case. This is my current situation, and I don't have to perform like it's any other thing that what it is. I guess with that being so, it allows the anger to actually come out, the frustration. And so, in between, like the last video and this one, I had my final session with my therapist, um, my psychologist actually. And um, I also transitioned into another. I think I also mentioned this beforehand, but I'm not sure. But I transitioned into another practice where, they're currently like they're having me in like this indication, process, where they're trying to see like what exactly is all going on, because that was the feedback that I also got from my previous psychologist, where he said, like, you know, it really has to be a multidisciplinary approach, and with more eyes on the situation and more intense. And so I'm basically like focusing on that, and so there isn't like a lot of psychological help in my current situation, because most of what I'm doing now is like really like explaining to the psychologist, like, um, what all is going on, like what are the hinders, what is my problem exactly, what are my problems. And um, this has been the case for a couple of weeks now, and it's going to be the case for the next couple of weeks, which, like, I'm grateful for. It's annoying, but I'm grateful for it, because it actually allows, because it takes time to like really explain and get a full picture of what is going on. So I I dislike the, if I'm I dislike the process of it, because it's just like regurgitating all my problems, and it's just like, oh, my life sucks in this detailed way, and just going into the details of why exactly my life sucks. And that is just not a fun experience. But it is currently, in this setting, in this situation, in this society, necessary that I do this way, and I try to like walk it off, like I said before, and I try to like meet up with as many people as possible, to just not focus on my life or my situation. So all of that to say that, so I switched, and I guess with the whole focusing on what sucks, it really like allows the anger to really like get to the forefront, where I can't like ignore it anymore or suppress it, because it's just very potent and very like, it's very surface now. My throat is itching. I need some water. Um, I've been singing, however. I don't know if it's like not daily necessarily, and sometimes not even weekly, but I've been singing for myself. I I've recorded some of it as well, and I just before recording this, I recorded two videos that I'm gonna put on TikTok, and maybe also on my RH covers channel. Um, I guess I'm trying to, aside from the piece about getting comfortable with singing, because that is definitely still the case, where I vividly remember like last week when I was in Rotterdam with my family, and um some song was playing, and we were all like singing a bit, but I noticed like my throat really, it just, the anxiety about it just closes off, and sound does come out, but it's like maybe like 5% of what I could actually like do. And I noticed the difference where, if I'm home alone, like if like what I just recorded or something like that, I noticed that, when I'm here in my home, I can do things with my voice that I can't do when I'm around other people. And even still, I know, like, I can't prove this, but I know that even what I can do at home, because of the yeah, the fact that you can hear everything. Like living in the pipe Amsterdam is just the reality of the building structures. Is like I can now I don't even know if you can if the mic picks it up, but you can hear outside. You can hear the neighbors if they're present. You can hear everything. And um I know that that also hinders me in what I can do at home. So I know that there's a level of my a level of my voice that I haven't even reached yet because my I'm gonna say social anxiety um, hinders me from that. It doesn't allow me to get there, and currently I'm in that space where I want to address that. I definitely do by also like maybe getting a space to rehearse my voice or to just sing out loud where it's like soundproof or something like that. But the thing is, aside from like the money that I just don't have, it's also the thing like which things do I need to address first, and that also ties into the whole low energy piece of it because here I am. I love to act. I love to sing. I love to dance. Oh my god! Do not even mention dancing. Like the because this also ties into like my body image, my voice, my expressing myself. All of that is all. It's all related. It's intersectional. It's really intersectional. It's like a lot of these things because it also ties into my gender and my gender expression, and I'm very like aware of the fact that I'm when it comes to like clothing and stuff like that. I also alluded to this. Like I can't even remember precisely what I said in like the gender tag video, but this definitely has come up in that as well, where I'm like very much more interested in looking at the androgynous aspects of like my personal style, but I just don't feel comfortable going in. And it's also related to like my body image issues on the one hand, and then also the other piece of just like the anxiety I have around like the judgment or the comfortability around that, where just hearing the experiences of especially like non-binary folk and the way that they get treated, or just people cis folk who are just different in their gender expression. I don't know, just hearing their stories, it just triggers me like in every way and kind of hinders me in experimenting at the very least. Like I can't even I'm not even allowing myself to experiment at home, which is heavy. Like I don't feel comfortable doing that on the one hand, but then on the other hand it's also tied into just the lack of energy. Like I just don't have the energy to experiment, to even do that piece. It's exhausting actually. Like the amount of times that I feel exhausted is like I think that being exhausted is my normal. It's like just every other emotion goes on top of the fact that I'm exhausted. Like I'm just so extremely tired. And like what I wanted to start this video with, I've been thinking about like for the last couple of months where I want to, since I've been posting longer videos, to script them, to write out the ideas that I have or whatever I want to say, and then put it up and not focus on the the editing just yet because I know that that's impossible for me right now. But at the very least, like maybe writing it down. But like I said, it's been a couple of months since this been showing up for me, and I noticed that even just doing that small thing, writing it down, what I want to say, energy I just don't have. And it's weird because I feel like I shouldn't be having this problem. Like this shouldn't be a thing. Like I look at all these other content creators. If I look at TikTok, Instagram, on YouTube here on this platform, the way and with such ability that people do stuff where I'm like, I don't even know how to start there. Like I've been looking at like courses and stuff like that where I get introduced to like get to know the vibe or the your niche on YouTube. Look at just all the practice technical and practical tips around like content creation and all that. Gary Vaynerchuk, of course, all that, and like I get it. Like I know what to do. I just don't have the energy to do it. And even the smallest thing. And I don't know how to and I guess this is also something that I ended with the last video with is like, so what now? And what I guess what now amounts to is just the annoying piece about taking it day by day and just taking steps, walking, and that is also something that I've been having conversations with my friends about. Like, I guess because I'm so performance focused, I tend to discount all the work that I am doing, that I have been achieving. Um, and I know, like, logically, like, that makes sense. Like, I am doing shit, but um, how I feel about it is that I'm just not doing enough. But also feeling like, but I don't have the energy to do anything else. And is that it's like a ping pong match, and the ping pong match started with like so in the beginning of like last month where I was very like suicidal and then not suicidal and then suicidal, not suicidal, all that, and it changed to like rage and anger and frustration, and then rage, anger, frustration, rage, anger, frustration, and just this whole spiel about like just not feeling at peace and not feeling comfortable, just angered and then tired, exhausted. Anger, rage, tired, exhausted, wanting things to change at a quicker pace. And I just feel like nothing is changing, and I just don't feel like anything is ever going to change, even though I logically know that that doesn't have to be true. It's just that the idea of like I'm so used to things not working out for me that is second nature. That it is like, and it's really not in my nature to believe that things will work out for me. It's like not. It's not natural. It's not something that's. It's not a yeah, not a thought that I've practiced enough for me to just believe if I look at the difference between, for example, my sister and I, she has very much this thing of like, well, everything just runs smoothly, everything is easy, everything just comes along, goes quickly, and just it just works. I don't have that. My life experiences um, also haven't allowed me to have that in that sense, and um, so I just don't. Yeah, I don't really like the process of this. Like I said, also with like the new um, psychologist practice that I'm currently um, working with, it's just gonna take time, which is also a very triggering thing because I always feel like everything is so extremely slow and difficult, and this just it feels the same, even though like I know that it's probably the right thing to do. But yeah, I guess I just have to wait. Even though that triggers me, I have to wait this out. I have to feel all the rage, all the anger, the sadness, the disappointment, the frustration. I just have to wait. And that's also the final thing that I wanted to say. Because in the last session with my previous psychologist, he asked me like, we were talking about the fact that he saw that video, the previous video, and we were just talking about it, and just my because it was the final session, just